Most people are leaving a ton of money on the table by not implementing multiple ways to convert leads into clients. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to channel my inner Cole Gordon in this video and be like, oh, just build a team of setters, oh, build a team of closers, get them in the DMs, set sales calls, blah, 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 right? Because look, I don't know about you, but the idea of building a team of setters, a team of closers, and managing them day to day sounds about as appealing as someone taking a shit on my forehead. Like, I don't want that. I'm not about that life. I don't want to build that type of business. So we implemented some different ways that didn't require that still help us convert leads into clients. Because look, you can build an automated funnel, you can build an ad campaign, you can set up all the automations. Like, we all want to live that internet marketing dream, right? Where we just put a piece of content out there, or we launch an ad and sales and clients come in. And it can happen, but your automated funnel is still going to lose people along the way, people who would happily pay you. So it just makes sense to implement some ways to follow up with those people that didn't convert the automated way and turn them into a client. So way number one, what we do is, I was going to say I call it unscalable conversations, but I didn't make that term up. I can't remember who did. Apologies, but I'm going to use it or steal it. Unscalable conversations. So I've put here, fuck the DMs. Again, I know this goes against what a lot of people think, but the worst place in the world to try and convert someone into a sale for me is in like Instagram DMs. Like, my business partner, she has about 50,000 Instagram followers, so not like the biggest following in the world. And it's an absolute nightmare. It's absolutely awful to manage. And plus, people are so busy, people's attention spans is so small. Like, they have, yes, okay, they might open Instagram and be replying to someone, but they've got a million different things popping up at them. They're not taking it seriously. They're not concentrated. You don't have their attention. They take about 10 hours to reply back. I don't think it's I just don't like it. Yeah. I don't think it's the best way to convert a lead into client. So I'm not like a big DM guy where I'm like, just drive them into the DMs. What I like to do is we use Instagram and ManyChat, and we generate messenger conversations, but we generate email leads from those conversations. So what some people will do, they'll have content that drives you to a DM, and then they'll have a setter go into the DM and, try and set them for a sales call or close them or whatever it is, right? I don't like doing it. What I do, we set it up automatically where they get into the DM, and whatever they're, requesting, whether it's like a free training, a free guide, a download, access to something, they give us our name and email address. So that's fully automated, and we grab their email. So I don't do the unscalable conversations in the DM, but I do it via email. I know some of you might be like, oh, fucking emails, old, doesn't work anymore, blah, blah, blah. It's still the best way to make money with an online business, guaranteed. When people are looking at the emails, they are usually giving it more attention. Plus, all the best clients are people with money. So they use email for their business or their work. And the best clients usually have money. So you want to sell to rich people. Rich people still use emails every single day, and a lot of them go through their emails every single day. So it's still a great selling tool. So what I prefer is to drive all the traffic from social media and drive it to email, and then I'll do the unscalable conversations inside of email. So unscalable conversations is obviously conversations that aren't scalable, i.e. it's you in there replying to people, closing them via email. Now, again, people will be like, oh, I don't have the time for that. Yes, you do. Most people have the time to close someone over email if they're going to pay them $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. For me, if someone's asking a question by email and I know I can close them and it's going to take me 30 seconds to reply, I'm going to fucking reply to them and they're going to then pay me. So it just makes sense. So we drive a lot of conversations still to happen over email. Again, I just find it easier. Number one, you've got more of their attention when they're actually replying and speaking to you. They actually read the messages properly. They're not distracted. It's easier to organize from my point of view. And I've just found that you get less people ghost you. It's just way easier. So we always drive the traffic to email. We do that, like I mentioned, through ManyChat. But then how do we actually start the conversations? Well, number one, we do 2 steps, which, people, use this across different, social media, where basically you get them to reply to get access to something. And then you can start the conversation from there. People do it in like Facebook groups. They'll be like, comment the word, guide below, and we'll reach out to you to give you access to the guide. And then they'll have someone themselves or someone on their sales team, go into Facebook Messenger, message the person and, start the sales conversation. So we do the same thing with email. So a lot of the time, whenever we're doing like a new product launch or we're launching a coaching offer, or even just like we're following up with people or leads who are on the list who we feel like we could convert, we'll do like a 2-step where you basically ask them a question, or you say, hey, do you want access to something? So for example, it could be like, we'll be like, hey, we're doing this thing, we're launching this thing, these are all the details. If you want early access, then just reply back early and I'll get you all the rest of the details. So you don't give them all the details in the initial email, you just make it sound enticing and something that they would want. And then you basically say, hey, if you want all the details, just reply back. They reply back, you send them the details, and then you've started that unscalable conversation with those people. So that's another way we do it. And then also, a lot of our times, like sometimes you just need to ask people, like you just need to let people know it's okay to ask questions, and they will come back with questions. So a lot of the time in our emails would be like, if you've got any questions on the above, just reply back and let me know. And I know it sounds stupid and too simple because people are like, no, that can't work. But literally, you add those types of like PSs on the bottom of your emails, you will get a lot of replies from people with questions. And a lot of the time, they're just like logistical questions that are stopping people from buying, but they feel awkward or weird to reply to an email to ask the question that's going to get it resolved. But if you say to them, hey, like, I've got some spare time over the next, couple of hours. I'm replying back to any questions. So just reply back to this email if you got any questions of the above, whatever the way you want to word it. People are going to come back with questions. And usually it's like, what's included? When does it start? How long do I have access? Is it lifetime access? Is there a guarantee? Kind of more like just logistical questions that if you answered them, they would feel a lot calmer and safer moving forward. But if you don't let them know, hey, I'm available to answer any of your questions, because most people think it's just either, going to some automation email inbox that no one reads, or it's going to like a VA or a team member. And it still can. You just pretend that it's not, and that's fine. But letting them know that it's okay to reply to ask questions, you will just close more sales that way. So that's what we do. So that's a big focus. Again, we rarely do it inside of the DMs, but we always do it inside of email. I found email is still, the best way to close people from a conversation point of view. Second up is cross-channel pollination. So typically, internet marketing dream, you run one ad, you drive them to a landing page, they either opt in or they watch a VSL, and then they go and buy. And that's it. They go from cold person on Facebook to customer within like 60 minutes. Reality is that doesn't happen as easily anymore. It still can work. And again, that automated funnel will still convert a good percentage of people, can still make money off it. But if you want to make more money, then you should include cross-channel pollination. So think of it like this. Typically, original funnel is just one big line. From start to finish. It's very linear. They just go through that one process and they close. Now, the funnel really is more like a spider web. It's like one big fucking mess, honestly. They might go to I should have included some form of writing tool to show this to you, so apologies, but basically, they will go to your funnel and they might not buy. Then they will go to your website. Then they might search you up on YouTube. Then they might look on you on Instagram. Then they'll open a few of your emails because they opted into your email list. And basically, they create like a spider web effect where they're going to all these different places across all these different channels until eventually they've got enough trust with you. They know, like, and trust you enough to then convert into a customer. So instead of it being a straight line, it's like up and down, across, up and down, across, and then eventually they will convert. And that's just the way things go. There's going to be a percentage of people that just won't close on the first time of asking. And now people are so used to basically using YouTube and Google to vet things and search for people that they will do that now. When I first started, I don't even know why I bought from the first ever course I bought was basically a make money course on how to make money with running Facebook ads, basically. It's like affiliate marketing, essentially. And I saw the ad, watched the webinar, and I bought a $99 product. All I remember, I clicked on the Facebook page of this guy, and this guy is like no offense to him, but he's a nobody now. Like, he doesn't work in the online marketing space. I don't even know what he does, honestly. But he wasn't like a big marketer or anything like that. He was a random guy who had just got started and he was selling like an affiliate marketing course. So he just had like a Facebook page and he didn't even show his face. And the Facebook page had about 5 posts on it. And there was just like a few motivational quotes. I remember clicking on the Facebook page and being like, who the hell is this guy? Like, I don't even know who this kid is. But I bought anyway because I didn't have any other way of like trying to vet him. Like, it wasn't normal back then because I'm old. So I bought my first Make Money Online course in 2016, which I know there was people before that, but it's fairly old. And back then it wasn't normal to go and search for someone on YouTube or go and search for someone on Instagram. TikTok obviously wasn't even a thing. So we didn't have these ways to like search and vet people and look at our options. I'd never really heard about making money online before. This was like the first person who I'd seen that was teaching it, other than, when you Googled it, you'd come up with like quizzes and stuff and polls to fill out for like a £2 Amazon vouchers or whatever. Anyway, the point is that back then I had no way of like searching this guy. So I just had to go with like gut instinct and be like, fuck it, I'm going to buy this thing, even though this guy looks pretty dodgy. He's not even showed his face and there's absolutely nothing about him that I know about. Now, if that happens, people will search the name, they'll search it on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. So number one is you've got to be present on all of those platforms for the most part, right? You don't have to go and start posting a million TikToks every single day. But generally in sophisticated markets, especially if you're making, you're selling like make money offers, if you're selling like to the coaches space, the online business space, even if you're selling to like probably like more of the younger generation that are used to like searching for stuff on TikTok and stuff, like my girlfriend, like if she wants to buy something, she'll go and search for it on TikTok and just watch the reviews on TikTok. She won't even like use Google or YouTube anymore, which is fucking nuts to me. But these people now are used to vetting stuff and searching for stuff and checking for their options. So you need to have at least a little bit some form of presence on the different platforms or some social proof on some platforms, especially if you're selling to more sophisticated users of the internet. Now, if you're just like a dirty affiliate who's shilling, supplements to 50-plus-year-old women on Facebook, then you probably don't need to do it that much. But, it is what it is. So basically, you want to be present on all those platforms. So one thing that we do, this business, and again, across the client's business, and I don't abuse this because it's not the best way to use email marketing, but we will distribute good content to our email list. So we'll build up email lists for one of our businesses. We have I think we have maybe like just under 40,000 active people. So, a decent size list. It's not huge. And then some of our clients will have like hundreds of thousands of people on their email list. So what we'll do is we will distribute that content to the email list. So if we have a really good YouTube video or we make a great like Instagram post or something like that, every week or so, like 1 to 2 weeks, we will distribute some form of different content. Just so the people on our email list know like, hey, we're visible, we are active on all these platforms. And then if they're stuck on making a buying decision, they will then go and consume our content on the other platforms that will build more trust with the prospect, and then they will buy. And you'll be surprised actually still how, it kind of probably contradicts my last point where everyone's searching everything, but you'll be surprised like people think that you think that maybe you have a platform that you're visible on, that people will know you from that platform if they follow you on another platform. And it's just not the case. So like, for example, my business partner, she has about 160,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's the biggest platform. It's the one she kind of started on. And we have 50,000 people on Instagram. So when people are in ManyChat and the automation, some of this, we have some automations where we ask them some questions just to figure out like what they're looking for help with. And basically, in one of the automations, it finishes with basically, I'll send you some training if I think that something could be useful for you. In the meantime, if you checked out my YouTube, I have loads of like free content on there. And we constantly get messages back on that automation being like, no, I didn't know you were on YouTube. No, what's your channel? And we just assumed really in the beginning wrongly that the 50,000, because we've got 160 on YouTube, that most of that 50,000 people on Instagram came from YouTube or found us from YouTube or like at least knew we were there because we post about it. We have like links in the bio and stuff like that. But most of the people don't even know. So don't assume that just because they're following you on one platform, they are following you on the other. So use your channels to cross-distribute content and drive people to the other channels. So again, they can consume more of you, they get to know you more, they trust you more. Especially if you're building your following on the short-form platforms like TikTok or Instagram Reels, you want to drive it to your longer form, YouTube videos, podcasts, etc., because that's where they're going to spend more time with you and actually, build up a relationship. So we use that for that. Another thing as well that we've started doing is embedding content. So the way like YouTube's algorithm works, for example, is, and you will see it, that if I click and watch someone's video, then the next time I open up YouTube on my computer and I go to the home screen, typically one of that person's other videos is visible and it's in kind of like the top 2 rows of the YouTube homepage for me. So what you want to do is you can take your videos that you use in your funnel. It could be a sales video on the sales page. It could be like an upsell video. And what you want to do is actually upload that to YouTube and put it on the funnel. Now, in the past, people were like, don't do that because they can click the video, it'll take them off the funnel page and it'll take them to YouTube. And that's bad. You just want someone to stay on the funnel. I mean, I'd question how many people actually do that. But it might happen. But the good thing about that is that obviously they're watching your video and it's on YouTube. So what does that mean? Again, the percentage of the people that don't buy from your automated funnel straight away, they are now locked into that algorithm of YouTube. And next time they go on YouTube, the likeliness that randomly you have a video that just randomly pops up on their home screen is pretty high. So now you're on the YouTube page. They might watch that video, they'll watch another one, they'll go down the rabbit hole of watching your videos, and then they'll be like, I like this person, I'm going to go back and buy from them. So it's a great way to basically ensure that you continue to follow up and show up across different social media platforms if you can embed those YouTube videos, especially if you've obviously got a YouTube channel. If you don't have a good YouTube channel and you don't post content on YouTube, then probably not going to do that because that would be completely pointless. But if you have got a strong YouTube and you want people to watch it more, then start having your sales videos, because someone who doesn't have a clue who you are, they see an ad, a random ad, they come through the funnel, they don't buy, then they see you on YouTube. It's just going to warm them up and increase the chances of buying. So that's cross-channel pollination. And then the final point is don't build a list of leads. So I have built multiple different businesses. I've also helped clients build multiple different businesses. And by far, the worst activity in the world is trying to convert a lead into a sale. It's like squeezing blood out of a stone. Like, it's a complete waste of time. It's demoralizing. It's long. It's boring. And you just get ghosted all the time. And you can like drain all your energy chasing leads, following up with leads, messaging leads, when in reality, you could spend, that 2 hours that you do that, you could spend that time creating like a really great piece of content that could go viral and get you loads of customers anyway. So there's always like an opportunity cost to doing this sort of stuff. So I'm not a huge fan of spending a lot of time following up with leads. Obviously, we do it, like I mentioned, with the unscalable conversations. But what I like to do is combine that with building a list of buyers and not leads. So for a lot of our, for the conversations that we really focus on and we do follow up with, and we spend time replying to them rather than doing like copy paste responses, they are typically our customers. Or at least, at the very least, someone who knows like the price. Like if someone doesn't know the price, I'm not going to spend like a lot of time following up with that person. But the easy hack to this is don't build a list of leads, it's to build a list of buyers. So how do you do that? It's by offering low ticket products instead of, offering a free lead magnet. I'm not saying offering a free lead magnet is bad. I'm not saying building an email list of leads is necessarily bad. But I'm not going to spend time following up with those people. So I like to build a list of buyers, and that's where I focus a lot of my time, focus, and energy. So to do this effectively, and I have tons of videos on this on the channel, but the way to do it effectively is to not sell a product that solves all types of problems. So for example, if I was helping agency owners grow, I wouldn't create like a low ticket course for $20 and be like, I'm going to teach you outreach, sales, fulfillment, operations, hiring, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to solve all your problems. I'm just going to solve one very specific problem. In the video that I posted the other day, I talked about this, and the example I gave was I'd sell like a cold outreach script, and just basically the offer is, get the exact cold outreach script that signed me 128 clients in the last 6 months, something like that, right? So the problem I'm solving there is that someone has tried to sign clients with cold outreach and it's not working for them. So I'm solving that problem, right? So that's the very specific pain point. There's still a ton of different shit that's going to get in their way to building a successful agency, but they're going to have a good cold outreach script. So when they get that, they look at it, they're happy with it, and they test it, and they get replies. That's great. But now they need to get them on the phone. Now they need to close them. Now they need to fulfill. Now they need to build a team to actually help them fulfill on those clients. So what we do then is the back end process will then obviously, solve the rest of the problems for them. So if we solve one very specific problem for a cheap price, we solve it for them, and then they're going to need help with everything else. And who are they going to go to? Well, they're going to go to the great people that have already helped them solve one problem, because the chances are that you can probably help them solve the rest. So just naturally, they're going to turn to you versus anyone else, and they're going to want to buy from you and basically go from lead / low ticket customer into a client. So obviously that's the key. It's making sure that the low ticket offer and the higher ticket offer complement each other very well, and one sends into the next, right? So that's obviously important. Number two, you need to make it easy for them to upgrade. So again, it comes down to what I mentioned before about just ask people if they've got questions, and they're going to come back and ask questions, and then you can close them. It's the same with this. Ask people if they want to upgrade. Like some people will be thinking about upgrading. They might like the idea of upgrading, but whatever, they have beliefs, fears holding them back. If you just message them and be like, hey man, I've got this offer. It can help you with X, Y, and Z. Are you interested? Or would you like more details? They'll be like, probably, yeah. Just to even check it out. And then if they check out the details, they like it more, you can close them as a client. So make it easy. So number one, obviously if it's like a low ticket product in a membership area, have easy ways that they can either request information on the upgrade or see certain information. Again, I don't like to do it. If you're like selling a $27 product and then you're selling like a $2K coaching offer, then I wouldn't necessarily have just like the $2K price in the membership area being like, buy me now, because that probably won't work. But you can entice them like I do with the unscalable conversations and the 2 steps. Say, hey, I've got this extra thing. This is all the cool stuff inside of it. If you'd like more details, then do X, Y, and Z. And it's usually, send an email or request information here. And then you can start the unscalable conversations with them and close them into a client. So we do that side in the membership area. Obviously, just follow up with them by email. Again, it doesn't have to be like a big sales email. Just be, again, just similar to what I said before. Hey, we've got this thing. It's going to help you with X, Y, and Z. So that you purchase this, thought you might be interested in it, in the other thing. Just reply back to this with the word yes, and I can get you more details. And then again, you've created that unscalable conversation. So you need to ask the question and make it easy for them to request more information on the upgrade, rather than just like letting them magically just come to the conclusion themselves that, oh yeah, I want to purchase from this person again. So make it easy for them. And I've put here again, combine with all of the above. So this is, and I've just alluded to it there. So it's powerful when you build a list of customers, not just leads, and you also combine that with unscalable conversations, and you've also got the cross-channel pollination as well. So these people are seeing more of your content across the channels. They know, like, and trust you. When you combine all those three things together, then it becomes a lot easier to convert leads into clients. And like I said, you can do this without building a full setter team and the closing team and all that sort of stuff. You can build a very streamlined, simple business if you just implement those things. And I think that's it. That's all I got for you today. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.